Greetings everyone, and Great here for another H-Bars 3 replays. On the bottom left side as the blue Germans, we have LoOk, tOm, OP, and Sarcastic Test. On the top right side as the red French, we have Martiskainen, butchered that well enough. No deck selected just yet, no deck selected just yet. We do have some very important natives. The water buffalo. I had trouble looking at it. For one reason, these guys can look pretty similar if you try and take a quick glance. As well as got the Sufi Mosque versus the Jesuits. Jesuits do give you the light cavalry conquistador, while you do get the rare heavy range cavalry with the Quiz Wash, who's also classified as a lancer. Deck, no deck. You'll steal that live oak worth 25 wood. Up here, red will gun down these orangutans and will steal their gum trees worth 70 wood. Shipment is now available. I have a feeling. Oh, this is going to be a little bit different deck. I thought it was going to be like the standard French, but this does include a bit of water. Semi-fast industrial water does have the couriers, does have fur trade, more couriers, crossbowmen and edicts and nanites, Hessian Jaegers. Of course, the factories got mostly cavalry cards here as well, or not really focused on cavalry cards, but they're just the cavalry combat. For the German, we've got the water deck, which does include some settler wagons. Goblin soldiers available. It does have a number of cavalry cards themselves, so this is going to be cavalry-based play for both sides. Skirmishers will be useful against dragoons, of course. Vice versa versus the war wagons. Now we've got these guys shooting each other. The scout has a knife.
Aufgabe bereit.
That looks like actually a custom name since it doesn't have a space. Robert Schlilleinman. Butchered that well enough. Kitty cat does go down. Red will not steal it. Got Jean Nicolette. Hunting doggos have been researched. There you get the age up with the quartermaster versus the opponents, much more creative, the quartermaster. Looks like the German player is going for a bit of wood. French player has only tasked villagers onto his food. He may be doing some fur trade play. Remember as well, one thing you can do for fur trade, if you want to store up food. Let's see, well, how to make this worth it? This gives you what? Plus 50% food versus conversion to gold. Not to mention food itself collects faster than gold. Gold does collect at 0.6, while food is collected up right now. Of course, is a 1.14. But if I can find a regular villager here, do regular conversions for this. 0.92 versus 0.6, so it's plus 50% times 50%. So effectively, potentially a return of 2.25 if my offhand math is incorrect. As that would be more collectively applied. So in order that to match the 700 gold, you will need to convert at least what, 350 food. That's actually not these are very reasonable. And you can of course queue up the fur trade research, collect up enough food. You can queue up some couriers to store food in. So time that right, and you get enough coin immediately shipped into your reserve. And be ready for an age up. We do now have a round of hussars deployed on the field by the French players, slicing apart the explorer there. While he does snipe the kitty cat. Get the Curious Gibbon. Wait. Is that Curious George? I think that's Curious George as a reference. Please let me know if I'm mistaken about that. I know about the Timon and Pumbaa. There's a lot of small references here or there, but I'm pretty sure that's Curious George. What type of monkey is Curious George? And he did snipe a tiger. Didn't Curious George have something involving with a tiger as well? Or I'm not getting mixed up with Tigger and Winnie the Pooh. Ulansu snipe out one of those couriers. He's not bringing a shipment of wood. He is not eyeing for fur trade. He does take out those pikemen there. Train post slowly starting to go on down.
Bonjour.
Got a decent number of pikemen here. Don't know if that's really good, though. He's fighting against a good number of... Not really a good number, a number of French cavalry. We got a shipment of crossbowmen, so it's more or less a soft counter to the pikemen. And now we got the French player pulling out some more pikemen. Weird game so far. Wait, why is both players just going for archaic stuff? Yovel. More crossbowmen being employed by the German. I don't know how effective this is going to be. Crossbowmen more of a light counter than hard counter. But against pikemen, they're also, which are also pretty bad in melee. Barring against cavalry. Should be reasonable enough. Yeah, against in melee, crossbowmen don't have a real good edge against pikemen. They actually still lose the pikemen in melee. Pikemen engaging these hussars. He did get caught up on a bit of Red's pikemen. Crossbowmen now trying to engage in melee. And hussars will break on through. Now we got a round Doppelin soldiers. And that's going to be a bit of an ambush spawn. And those guys are going to get ripped apart very quickly. Had a short window in responding there. Got a single Ulan here, but he does get gunned down. Now got Ulans push way forward, or Doppelin soldiers. Yeah. Pikeman has a damage of 8. Crossbowman has a damage of 7 with a plus 25% multiplier. Yeah, very similar in melee. Howdy. Oh, I just realized Doppelin soldier has one. Wait, no, that's one attack range, not attack speed. Most times you don't see the one attack range, so these guys actually do have slightly longer range. Probably makes a difference, but not a huge one. Hussars may find a handful of villagers here.
Hello?
Hello. I don't know if it's just me, but I always respond to units if they say something like that. Does that sound like hello, but it's in German. We do now have the settler wagon taking severe damage. Good body blocking there. And settler wagon does go down. Very nice. But I do hear the Doppelin soldiers push way forward. They too are slicing up some villagers. Couriers have the same durability in melee as regular villagers. Crossbowmen getting ripped apart by the Doppelin soldiers. These Doppelin soldiers doing quite well. Crossbowmen are more of a light counter than a hard counter against heavy infantry units. Couriers engaging with their decent guns. 11 damage, a bit more than decent, honestly. Going to stand and fight. He always wins some militia there. And overall, the second minute is reigning supreme. More Doppelin soldiers now being deployed in the field, as well as more villagers. And for Ulan's not great. Looks like Blues try to steal some of the cows. Of course, you can't delete cows, can you?
Oui.
Or maybe you can. Red's going to take time and clean those up. I know some, yeah, I think you can delete cows. You can grab them, immediately delete them so they start degrading and they don't continue fatting. Yep, he deleted them there, so
Votre ordre?
they will start decaying a little bit early because of that. Ulan's pushed way forward, Doppelin soldiers will. Of course, Ulan's are glass cannons. Second Amendment firing away. Doppelin soldiers do have a bit of AoE, so the will get splash damage on these couriers. And some of these Ulans or Doppelin soldiers are getting gunned down. More pikemen here. Wait. Is that a part of the replay? Because I don't think I've ever seen that pop up before.
Prêt.
Got a number of Doppelin soldiers here, as well as some pikemen. You now have one shipment available for the French. We could see edicts and nanites, but probably not. German players shipping in some Ulans. Doesn't have any villagers on the build queue. Has some food for it. Pretty far from aging up. And oh, and we got the age up here. The French players aging up, getting some skirmishers out could be very useful versus Doppelin soldiers. Maybe falconets as well. Possibly Jaegers. He's collecting quite a bit of gold at the moment. Has 15 villagers on gold, so maybe he's going to try to bring in some, or tin, coin. So he may bring in some Jaegers. And something camouflage, probably the French scout. Ulans gain some damage there. One of the couriers do go down. Doing a great job. Cycle back and forth between town centers. The town center can fire. I don't think he uses militiamen either. Doesn't have enough gold for militiamen. Or food. You need 150 food, right? Now he does. Pikemen are only do 8 damage. Couriers will beat the melee. Town center about to go down. There is a round of skirmishers. But the Ulans are immediately on top of him. Red's villagers trying to defend. He does get around the dragoon, which is not too particularly great at the moment. All the skirmishers do go down. Trying to start a step away. See, he does not have any town center shipment. He doesn't have any shipment location either. No outposts. Pikeman gains some decent damage. He does need to start cooking up quite a bit of wood. Does save the stable there. Now he's just trying to collect the wood, perhaps for a town center, perhaps for something else. Maybe he has 2 ships available. Maybe good idea to go for an outpost before working at town center. Oh, you can always bring in ships. Frigate? No, that's his only shipment he can bring in. That does not provide him fish, as those are caravels and, of course, fishing ships. I'm not sure if the frigate's going to be useful at all. He may want to deploy his buoy over here in order to get a bit more out of a better spot. Single skirmish on the field. He has enough for our town center. He could deploy the town center next to the shoreline so the frigate can provide some shore bombardment. The Intrepid, or however you pronounce it. stable does go down,
Prêt.
and the frigate can deploy out some stuff. I forget exactly what the everything can pull out, but I'm pretty sure I can still pull out hussars. I'm not sure about dragoons. I don't play enough of ships to actually know that top of my head. Fortress Age now complete for the German. And we got the stable now being built. Of course, Dragoon has a gun. The pikeman does not. We can just simply fire at range. Town center now being built. Way over there. Concealment does offer some protection, which can be very good until it's not. Hence the term concealment. It is not cover. If I remember correctly as well, one of the YouTubers I will follow quite a bit for War Thunder, he has something called the survivability onion. First thing is, don't get seen in order to stay alive. But the end goal is simply to stay alive. If you don't get seen, you don't get shot at. Veteran skirmishers and more Ulans being shipped on in. Both players, of course, age 3. Got now dragoons being shipped on in.
Votre ordre? Oui.
Skirmishers, of course, going to be very effective versus dragoons.
Votre ordre?
He does now have
Prêt.
8 dragoons this region.
Prêt.
And the frigate does get broadside. Couple skirmishers do get gunned down. These villagers taking some hits. They do have a bit of range resist, but that one's already pretty wounded. You could try using the crack shot or the sharpshooter attack. We do now have the veteran Ulan here as well.
Bonjour.
So decent number of villagers. The French players have 22 versus 32. And we probably have a number of settler wagons on the field. 27 out of 10, so add 7, so 39 versus 21. So big deficit for the French. You could try for a dock to get a secondary economy going. Be a bit risky, but maybe a bit more safer way to get your economy rectified, and perhaps cheaper. Oh, it would be cheaper. Safer. Let's see. German player he does have some ship cards, so he could play around his town center though, and he does have a frigate here. Scout camouflage somewhere.
Right.
And good number of cuirassiers and dragoons here, which can be very effective against everything here. One guy does go down. Got a number of Ulans, which should be actually safe enough for him to actually engage. Cuirassiers can focus on the settler wagons, splash down some of the Ulans. The dragoons counter. And right now the cuirassiers getting hit by the skirmishers, not the dragoons. So overall, Red's a little bit outnumbered, but it's not a bad position for him. It's not a great position. And there's the war wagons. That should make him fall back now. But he's pushes way forward, and now got around skirmishers here. All of his Ulans now down. All of the cuirassiers are now down. And that villager will get gunned down. He's now down 29 villagers, plus... Where's the war wagon? Not war wagon, secular wagon. 5, so he's at 34, so good calling. Now there's only a deficit of 10 rather than closer to 20. And of course, these are French villagers, so multiply that by a certain percentage point. Got more skirmishers on the build queue as well as a cuirassier. Red's trying to pull out a secondary town center. Does get spotted. Frigate providing some protection for the couriers, and if he ever gets overwhelmed too much, you can always evacuate the couriers to the ship. Which he may... Nope, he's just collecting up some more of the local fauna. And it sounds like it looks like we'll go down. A decent number of skirmishers here. Skirmishers versus skirmishers. Seems relatively even. Appear to be the same quality by all aspects. Now got a dock here as well as a house. Brassiers charge way forward. Oh, now got a massive number of Ulans. Frigate does protect some of those couriers. Red skirmishers so far, they're firing away unimpeded. Single halberdier here. They maybe need to be ready to evacuate those villagers to the frigate.
J'ai repris des forces.
Falconets could be very useful. Large amount of exposed, unprotected infrastructure there could be picked on off. More skirmishers now being pulled on out, as well as a handful of veteran dragoons. Frigate providing some good short bombardment. He is starting to garrison the frigate to escape on out of there. Very nice. He did lose his dragoons. We're just having trouble getting a foot in this game, at least a foot on land. Not found by too many villagers at the moment. 81 versus 89 population, so Germany does have much larger military on the field.
Yeah.
Let's push it forward. Do get gunned up a little bit. And now gunned down a little bit. A little bit idle. There it goes. I got the falconets there, which I don't know if he should be pushing forward like this. They're pushing forward unescorted, and there's a lot of cavalry in the region. Going for a culverin right now for the German, which can also not only help deal with the falconets, but also help him out dealing with the frigate. Brassier is now being fought up by the French. Strange enough, neither trade post has been claimed so far this game. Now that the Cuirassiers push way forward. Those falconets could go on down there. Very good pick there by Red. Ulans were picked off as well. The war wagons, one goes down there, one's at full health. Got the militia here. Villagers push right forward, getting some damage on in. He's focused on the war wagon, because takes the war wagon, the Cuirassiers can basically do the rest of the work. War wagon does go down. His militia are still alive and firing as well. Now got these two Ulans. They do find the falconets. One does get obliterated. One falconet does go down there. Takes up both of those Ulans. Now look at the same civilian population. The difference between couriers and settle wagons. And a number of settle wagons have gone down. I think the French economy may be better at the moment. 4 out of 20, which is +4. Yeah, I think the couriers' better income will be better. Of course, there is a number of fishing boats, which is not as good. So their economies are probably very, very similar at the moment.
Oui.
Let's take out the over in there.
J'ai repris des forces.
Ulan's starting to take some damage there. And all the militia are going to be cleaned on up. They're basically down to 1 health. Looks like there's been quite a bit of overkill on those individual guys. More Carassiers on the build queue. More Carassiers being shipped on in. So 5 plus 3 plus 1. I've got a pair of petards being deployed on the field by the German. Not sure how effective that's going to be. Carassiers do find a number of these villagers. Ulan's trying to retaliate. Carassiers find more villagers. German players starting to more or less throw the game away. All of his natural fauna are in the middle of the map, so it's become much more easier for the French player raid. While the French player is most relying on fishies for his food. Quadruple petard here. Petards do 1,600 damage. One does get gunned up quite a bit. And the town center goes down to 100 health remaining. Nothing to follow up on that. And of course, the towns are not getting repaired on up, which makes sense. Yeah, but I'm not sure. Maybe he thought the petards would one-shot a town center that's 4 of them, which is clearly not the case. French villagers get some damage on those war wagons. War wagons, like any other light cavalry, do less damage versus villagers. German players now migrating to over here. The French player has 48 civilians versus 37. A number of skirmishers there. Dragoons push way forward. Handful of skirmishers now being pulled up by blue. More dragoons and fishing boats. We have double town center for blue now. Do have some mills going on up. Of course, the wool cooked up doesn't have a whole lot of economic research to help improve them. Same rate as these fishing boats. Now got the French villagers take some damage there. Got a number of dragoons help protect them. And all the Ulans do go down there. Now the war wagons should be picked on off. He's pushing with the villagers. He has a scout in the region as well. And the war wagon does go down. Skirmishers backing on off. Dragoons getting a lot of free damage there, but of course they are technically countered. Number of German villagers do go down there. Very nice.
Alive.
Long lines are approved, so we got a couple upgrades for these fish boats. Now they're providing much more respectable 0.97 food per second. There's up to 3 whales up here, but there's still plenty of fish out of sea, so you can collect them from both the whales and the fish, no problem. Blue's not happy with his own performance. It's probably, for me, it's him bleeding out the villagers quite a bit, which the French player managed to hold the line. He didn't take time to destroy this infrastructure. If he would have took time to destroy this infrastructure, taking out the housing would have caused some issues for Red, even now. After all, the French player does still need the housing. Gracias, push way forward. A couple of them are quite wounded. You now have another shipment available for the French. It is a shipment of gold. It is the 1000 H3 shipment. German players bring a shipment of coulons. Red has now deployed out another town center here, and he's also collecting up some more fishes. Now Red is slowly pushing way forward. Where is Blue's army? Blue doesn't appear to have a whole... 18 units is a army, but right now it's fighting against something much larger. There's a round of Uhlans there. Skirmishers push way forward. We'll find a volley onto those dragoons. Uhlans trying to retaliate. They do keep their distance, so only take a couple shots there. Bull Wagon push way forward. Uhlans trying to gauge the skirmishers now. Get some damage on some of those Uhlans. Uhlans do go straight for the past the Cuirassiers. The Cuirassiers will report the skirmishers. Blue's armor is overall getting overrun, and Blue does back the game now. This Anna Grade saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay.